Welcome back to Don't Speed Shop. Today we're going to replace the brake hose on a 2014 Jeep Patriot. Check it out.
What you're gonna want to do first, take the wheel off. Up here I got the in-between sockets because the lug nuts swell up on Chrysler products like they like to do. And you need the in-between sockets to get these off. You can, if you need to, also slam an impact socket on there with a hammer. I'm trying not to do that. Now this is a good example. What happens when a tire shop uses torque sticks instead of torque wrench. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Torque stick instead of a torque wrench, and just impacts the hell out of these. So, not a weak gun, plenty of battery, still struggling. Once you have the car jacked up, go take the wheel off. As I said before, make sure you put your lug nuts somewhere where you're forgetting about them in 20 minutes and trip over them, make a big mess, swear a lot. You know the deal. If you've seen this channel before, you know how I work. Wheel pops off. There's a wheel over there somewhere. Make sure you hit the bumper a couple times, flip the wheel a couple times so it's in your way. If you're wondering, if it's not like I struggled, take the old 3/4 ratchet to get that lug nut broken loose. Yeah, I love torque sticks. Anyways, other than my genuine displeasure for torque sticks, let me bring you in here and show you what's going on. Now, this might look like a new caliper to you, because it is. I replaced this a little bit ago, thinking it was a caliper hanging up, and yeah, didn't do this the right way. Caliper was still hanging up, so yeah, add brake hose. If you're wondering what the part number is on this, if you're on your local CarQuest, it is a BHA 620909. So that's what we're working with today. Now, when these brake hoses get older, they start to swell up on the inside, making it hard to move fluid back and forth. There's a reason why we're swapping this out today. I always want to try to use flare nut wrenches on this type of thing. Save yourself headaches of rounding off a flare nut later on. And these are the bane of my existence. What I normally do is hold the other side that doesn't have the flare nut with a vice grip. I usually try to use a name brand vice grip, not the Chinese knockoffs, because they end up going airborne when you're mad enough. I think I actually got lucky with this one. She broke loose for me. Normally, I'm smarter than just putting a wrench on it. Put a little juice on it. Get the threads nice and penetrated with some rust penetrant or something. But for whatever reason today, I felt like just putting a wrench on it. My laziness has paid off. And yes, it's usually laziness that will bite you. Today, the automotive gods are either smiling on me or they're going to create more problems later in this quote-unquote quick project. Typically, these do not come off this nice. As far as I know, this is the original brake hose to the car. I replaced the brake caliper probably a week or so ago. Maybe 2 weeks. But, you know. Hanging out, working on the Jeep again. Anyone else kind of mumble sing to themselves while they work on stuff to keep the sanity in check? Just me? Okay. That's cool. Make sure when you're doing this, you put a drip pan underneath your car. I got lazy and didn't do it for the first couple minutes, but yeah, there we go. Line's off. Then what you want to do next is remove this clip that's on top of the hose. Hold that clip your way, and that holds the top of the hose in the bracket. Like that, drop in your brake fluid, so you get to play with that in your hands for the next 20-ish minutes. Remember, when you face that up, the clip side goes up on this raised edge. Clip side's going to go up when you slide it back in there. Things to notate while you're doing things like this. So then next, you want to take out this bracket that holds the mount on, for the hose. Once again, dropping stuff in the brake fluid. Just get to play with that for the next 20 minutes. Minimal 20. If you're doing it faster than that, you're not doing it right. Then you come onto the back side of the caliper and take the hose off. And the bolt that holds the bracket on, your banjo bolt here, you're looking at a 12 mil. But making this look easy, once again, it's because the caliper was just replaced. So this side is just coming off like butter. You drop all the fluid from the caliper, naturally. Remember, when you do these washers, the copper washers, do copper washer on each side, so it seals up when you put the banjo bolts on there. I try to reuse these. You're probably not supposed to, but I am not a professional. This is a quick and dirty way to do one of these jobs. Just like this hose that's in the bracket. Spreading this is a pain. You usually use it with a small pry bar, which I'm going to try to do. And when it doesn't work, I'll end up just cutting the hose, going around it that way. Got my hose cutter. Like I said, kind of gave up on that real quick. But I'll get to show you how swollen this thing is on the inside. As you see, this thing was really swollen compared to the size of the hose. There's still fluid actually trapped in on one side, as I can see here. Yeah, it's just as destroyed on that side. So that was definitely a problem in this circumstance. Correction on that. If I actually looked at the new hose comes with a new bracket. So yeah, you can just that with the new one. Reinstall hose. You know, do the thing with the stuff and the thing and the stuff. You following me? You're checked out? Why'd you watch the video? I don't know. Alright, so go in here, route all this, doop-a-doo-wah, doop-a-doo-wah. I'm gonna set up the banjo bolt side first. Kind of route the line haphazardly for now, just to get things started. That wasn't the banjo bolt, guys. That was the other bolt. So you know you're not watching horsepower TV. You're watching me.
Got intertwined. Sorry.
So once you get the banjo bolt on, go ahead and snug it down. Get locked in where you need it, so you don't have any leaks when you go to bleed this thing. Line up your bracket for reinstallation of the hose. 100%. Now, once you have it tight, have somebody either hop in there help you bleed it, or have a vacuum bleeder do it. Okay, pump it up. Hold on 3. You holding?
Yeah.
All right, pump it up. Okay, hold it down.
Holding.
Pump it up. Okay, hold it.
Holding.
And then you're all set to put the wheel back on. And then once you have the wheel on, torque it down to the appropriate torque setting. Test drive. Make sure your vehicle has no issues and you're all set. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.